Good evening, everyone. Welcome, one and all, to the personal development session of the Adopter Youth Foundation. These sessions are like golden nuggets. They are valuable lessons, valuable tips that can help us secure a better future. And I tell you something, although we have targeted our young mentees in this series, and the month of June, we have been focusing on financing education. So even though we're targeting mentees, the information is available to anybody who wants to improve their educational status. I remember when I finished my first degree, I was about 21. My wife had done her diploma or certificate in nursing. Fast forward, my wife completed her master's degree before I even started. So it's not about where you start, right? It is what is it that you are really desirous of doing and the commitment that you have. The resources are available right across the board. So don't wash your face. I had a secretary once who started her first degree when she was in her 50s. And it was quite an accomplishment for her when after 5 years, she was doing it part-time, she could complete her bachelor's degree and even change jobs in her 50s. She was doing that. So the information is available. As our senior apostle would have taught us, employ best practices. The best practices are available all over the place, and through our personal development sessions, they are accessible to all of us. Before I go into this evening's session with our director, Chris Grant, I want to remind us that we have our personal development sessions are available on our YouTube channel. Let me just show you our YouTube channel. This is our channel here, the Adopter Youth Foundation. I'm going to copy the URL and put it in the chat for the Adopter Youth Foundation. You can go back and watch videos of different sessions that we have had over the last 2 years. And they're gems that help us and can help us to be better individuals. And even if it is not something that you see you can employ for yourself, you can help somebody else with some of these information, right? We had our celebration, our talent must bust. We are pressing our talent line, preparing for the new you. I need to be happy, our scholarship workshop, and some more that will be added from the month of June. Well, this evening is the culmination of a series of personal development sessions we're having in the month of June, focusing on education, focusing on accessibility to fund our education. And an expert in the area who has been helping people for, I don't see a gray hair per head now, Chris, so things are going for you, man. Well, if you look on Chris, you don't know how long he has been helping people to get scholarships through his organization, Scholarship Jamaica, and he's now a director in the Adopter Youth Foundation. He will be speaking tonight about how you can fund your education even if you don't get scholarship. So don't panic. If it is that you have a desire, God will help you to find a way. Hold on to the desire, put it before God, and you'll find a way. So we have spoken to you before about getting scholarships to fund education. What if you don't have scholarship? So I'm going to hand over now to Sir Chris Grant, who will be navigating these beautiful waters for us this evening. Over to you, Chris. You're muted, Chris. You're muted.
Yes, that's good Zoom etiquette. Mute yourself. So thank you. Good evening, everyone. Big ups to the Apostle Selvin Watson and all the other AYF directors and members. I see Miss Lumley, Barrett, Kerrian Green, Russell. Big up on yourself. So yes, today is the culmination of the June's education and financing. And we are trying to cover all aspects of the education and financing business, not just scholarships, but I know not everybody gonna win, or some people might not have the time, didn't get a chance to apply. So I'll be sharing my screen and then we kick it off. Hopefully, feel free to put your questions in the chat and I will be happy to respond to them. All right. So here we go. So now I'm gonna share my screen. Alrighty. All right. So today we're gonna cover your plan B, the alternatives or the alternative to scholarships. Not everybody will be able to win, or sometimes you do win your scholarship and you're not able to cover the full tuition and you want to know what else should I do? How else can I cover the difference? And before we jump in, I want to remind you guys that the Adapt a Youth Foundation is offering scholarships to Adapt a Youth members, mentees, mentors. All right. I'm gonna go through that at the end of the presentation, but we have been posting it, reposting it. We are encouraging you guys to apply. Deadline is July 30th. And we can't afford to have free money on the table and don't give it away, all right? Don't let the money burn our pocket. So we're gonna jump into it right now. So the potential alternatives to your scholarships are as follows. One, crowdfunding, employee education loans, tuition discounts, student loan bureau. Yep, the student loan bureau is still an option. We have credit union educational loans. We have commercial bank loans and microfinance personal loans. And I put microfinance at the bottom because that's the least option I would recommend. But in order to do a comprehensive coverage of education and financing in Jamaica, we have to touch these because we have to be honest. Some of us gonna win scholarship to cover all our tuition. Some gonna win part, and we need to cover the difference. And some may not apply for scholarship and need to do it. For the record, when I was going to school, I used student loan, and that was very helpful for me. And the Student Loan Bureau now, we're gonna go through each of them, also allows you to benefit from scholarships and their loan at the same time. So here we go. And this PowerPoint will be available if any of you guys need it. So crowdfunding. So most of you guys must have some idea what crowdfunding is. Most time you see it on social media, people requesting money for to help cover medical costs. In America, like recently in America, when there was a shooting in Texas where they killed 23 people, unfortunately, the kids, there was a crowdfunding for the funds to bury these kids, and they got 3, 4, 4 to 5 times the amount they request. So a lot of persons use crowdfunding. One of the most common one used is GoFundMe. You literally create an account. They ask you to create a description, of what you need the money for. They ask you to connect a payment like your account or a PayPal account to it. But bear in mind, whatever you put that you need this fund, the money for, you ethically you need to use it for that. And also most of these crowdfunding platforms, they make sure that the funds go towards what you you requested for. And if you don't and somebody should report you, the crowdfunding platform will make sure they take back the money from you. So GoFundMe is one. You create a profile, you indicate where you need the money for. I've promoted some of it on Scholarship Jamaica. You have Donor Box, you have One Cause, Fundly, and Anbid. There's another one that most people may have known, I don't remember the name, but it's not on the list because they're having some issues, and most places, they're not recommended. But GoFundMe is one of the most common ones. So this is the first means, the number one means of alternative to funding your education, and it's crowdfunding. All right. Next one is your employer educational loan. What is an employer educational loan? For those who are employed, yes. And some companies, if your parent is employed, they could get an educational loan for their child to cover their tuition. How this work is, and when I was working at COK way back in the days, around 05, between 2002 and 2006 or 7, I was at COK. They offered an educational loan for employees where every semester you would apply for the educational loan for the semester. They say, all right, then go ahead. This is the loan. They give you the loan. You are required to pay back that loan within the semester. Upon completing the semester, you would take your result and say, hey, HR, I've completed the semester. This is my grade. Usually the educational loan plans give you like a GPA. Most times it's like 2.5, which is like a 50, 55 average. Come on, we all have that. So you reach the GPA, you pass the course. Most times it's just that you pass the course and you show them the receipt that you pay back the loan also. What the employer do in return is reimburse you that money. So say they lend you, for instance, 500,000 or 250,000 for the semester, which is between September and December. You finish, at the end of December, you give them your result and you also show them that you pay the loan. They give you back that 250,000. So that 250,000 now can either go towards, because you already paid off, you could use it to pay the next semester, or you could just put that aside as for a rainy day, and you borrow another loan from them, and the same money that they reimburse you now, you won't have to pressure your pocket. You just use back that money to pay the loan. So that is one. So basically, that's what it's saying. So you literally get the loan per semester, you pay it off during the time, and then reimburse you. Some employer, they give you the loan, you pass the course, you show them your result, you don't need to pay it back. They didn't ask you to pay it. So you pass the course, them just say, all right, the loan is there. All right. So that's the educational loan, and that's two. They're so simple and straightforward. We're gonna have lots of time to ask questions. So definitely. So that's number two. Number three, family and friends. I know a lot of you gonna laugh and say, yo, who have family have money between 250 to 500,000 to pay for a semester, or a million or 800,000 to pay for a year. But guess what? Some of us have some family far abroad that have the capability, where some family members, all they need is to see the potential, see that you're trying, and they're willing to help. I know one of my coworkers in the US, he's from Portland. He was paying the tuition for one of his nephew to go to UA Montego Bay branch, and he decided to pay the tuition because he realized that the best gift he could give his nephew is education, and instead of sending money every month to give him to pay for food or buy this or buy that or whatever story he might call and give him, say, you know what, if you enroll in school and you show me that you're passing your subjects, I will pay for it. So that's where you get a money. It could be a loan from a friend or family, or it definitely could just be a gift, because sometimes family members just want to see a try. And 2 weeks ago, one of our presenters, Solomon Perkins, he spoke about how he was able to lean on family members to lend him money for help to offset tuition. And all of these options go in line with you having scholarships, and you might need extra money to cover additional expense. All right. So for the lucky ones, families and friends, and never say you know no family can lend you. You need to just reach out to them. You might not know what the position they're in. Sometimes we're still right beside some millionaire and we don't even know. All right. Next one, we're going to touch on educational loans. Quick and easy. So these 5 are the potential educational loan sources, and I'm going to share a synopsis of the interest rate. I'm just going to go through some of the benefits and alternatives. Again, I reiterate, loans and all these alternatives to scholarships work in hand with scholarships, because some scholarships cover the full tuition and it helps to offset other expenses, while some scholarships cover part tuition and some of us won't get any. So these are alternatives. First one, the Student Loan Bureau is I would recommend your first educational loan. Reason being, it's a government program. It gives you the longest time to repay. It gives you the most flexible payment plan, where it give you up to 7 years to repay the loan. 7 years to repay the loan, and they have the best interest rate. The only other interest rate on an educational loan you can find, based on my research during this week, is if you get an educational loan from an employer and they say, hey, I'm going to lend you the money and it's this interest rate. Only an employer would give you a better interest rate than what the student loan would give you on an educational loan. So the Student Loan Bureau is option 1 because they give you 7 years to repay, a 6% interest rate. Additionally, upon receiving a student loan, you can also apply for, sometimes they let you know, you can apply for a grant in aid. So a grant, G-R-A-N-T, in aid, A-I-D, is for all successful scholarship, SLB loan awardees. They give them an additional money to say, hey, use this money to offset traveling, book, and living expense. Whatever expense you may have, they literally say, all right, we are lending you this money, take this. So them give you some money, some free money to offset some of your expense. So if you ever apply and receive a student loan from Student Loan Bureau, make sure you ask them about the grant in aid. And all of this information, especially student loan option, is on scholarshipjamaica.com. And on an article on the alternatives is also on scholarshipjamaica.com, along with this PowerPoint will available to you. And also you can watch this presentation again on the Adapa Youth Foundation YouTube channel. Next one is they give you a payback. You can also pay back the loan while you study. So when I took student loan, I was paying back the loan while I'm studying. While you're studying, there's no interest applied. So the interest doesn't kick in until you finish your studies, okay? So you start paying back the loan, so by the time you finish your studies, the interest would only be applied on what is left, the balance, because it's a reducing balance loan, meaning it only charges you the interest on the balance that's left. So the more you pay, the less interest you pay on it. They offer loans for undergraduate and postgraduate studies. They offer loans to study in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, and overseas. So as I said, Student Loan Bureau has become one of the most flexible educational loan source. So you can do local overseas, graduate and undergraduate loans. So that's it for the Student Loan Bureau, SLB. Next one, credit unions. I keep saying all the time, in every communication I present, you must, if you're a student, you live in Jamaica, you must have a credit union account. You need to have a credit union account. I found this out when I was working at COK. Credit unions offer the best rates compared to commercial banks and these upcoming microfinance. When I say microfinance, you talk about Access Financial, talk about Access Financial as one. You have microfinance by itself. Even Cool Oasis, I think, offering microfinance. So all of these places that offer you loan, that say, hey, you need to pay back in 3 months or something like that. These are microfinance companies. So credit unions will offer the best rates compared to them. The best educational loan, the best car loan rates, the best this rate, credit unions, because you're a shareholder and you get dividends. And all credit unions, the whole of them, offer scholarships and grants to students, whether to you as a student or to you as a member to your children. So credit unions, so they have the best interest rates. Currently, right now, the best educational loan in the credit union industry that I came across this week is from Manchester Cooperative Credit Union, MCCU. And they're offering up to $5 million at 13.99%, and you get 6 years to pay. So student loan offer 6% interest. MCCU, Manchester Cooperative Credit Union, they offer 5 million with 13.99% interest for 6 years to pay. So that's one, but COK and No offer a very good one also. So just check out the credit union that you're in. And if you're a student, you definitely need to be in the Teachers Cooperative Credit Union. And then you have another one. I think there's another credit union just for students. But anyway, these credit unions, they offer the best, the second best loan options. Next, we want to go to the commercial banks. Commercial banks are the NCB, Scotiabank, the First Caribbean, the JMMB, the Sagicor. Those are commercial banks. You can also get loans from them. Their interest rates are not as competitive as student loan again, but based on the relationship you have with them, they will offer student loan. No matter of fact, JMMB has a specific loan for graduate students in specific subjects at UWI. That's for JMMB. But all the other commercial banks offer educational loans. Talk about the microfinance now. Microfinance, they usually offer either personal loan or they call it educational loan or personal loan. So they refer to it as educational loan or personal loan. So you go to your Access Financial and your First, I think one name First Financial.
First Heritage.
First Heritage, thank you. Yeah, First Heritage, which is on, I think, Mullines Road or Maxfield.
They have a few offices. One of them is in Livingston.
Definitely. Thank you very much. So those are some of the microfinance companies. And AIM Financial, I use AIM Financial, not selling their service, but I used them before. So those are microfinance companies that also offer educational loans, and they offer personal loans that can be used for paying for your education. And then now you talk about tuition discounts. So tuition discounts is you getting, like for instance, one example is UCC have a referral program. If you're a student or you just register with them, you refer somebody, they give you a discount. They have some services that if you use, they give you a discount also. We post that on Scholarship Jamaica. So tuition discount comes in various forms. Maybe if you register early, they say, hey, we will remove registration fee or something like that. Some teachers' colleges have arrangement with credit union to offer special loans for students attending the school. I think there is one teachers' college that offer a special rate with one of the microfinance company. So tuition discount can come through various forms. So always check out with the school you're registered with to find out if they have any discount for you as a new or returning student. Okay, so these are just some of the loan interest rate. comparison. So as I say, SLB 6%, most competitive, and they give you up to 7 years to repay. Then we have the next one in line is the credit union. So the credit union range from like 13 to 13.99%. And then you have microfinance. So the microfinance, based on my check this week, they have the highest rates, which is usually 14% and over. The most I saw was 13.99 to 16%. Then you have the commercial banks now, which right now is at about 14%. And you bear in mind that interest rates will be going up in the near future with the fear of recession, with the high price, high inflation. So the government gonna raise interest rates to offset inflation. So you're gonna find that getting students loan now, or other personal loans is gonna get more competitive and more difficult. However, you can always fall back on the student loan bureau because they have the best interest rate at this time. And then we have to talk about the Adapa Youth Foundation Scholarship. So Next Move Jamaica Foundation, my wife and I formed, we're offering 5 awards, 25,000 each to AYF members. We're also offering other scholarships to general public. We are encouraging you guys to take the time out to apply. All the application is online. The link is in Next Move Jamaica Instagram page. The link is in the Adapa Youth Foundation bio. If you have any question, you can drop us an email or drop us a DM on our social media pages. It is easy, guys. As we encourage volunteerism, we're trying to encourage you as members of the AYF by awarding you scholarship, by saying, listen, being a part of this, whether you're a mentor or a mentee, you are worth it for us. And in treating you, we're saying, you know what, we're not just talk about it, we're going to put our money to it. We are going to some money. Take the time out to apply. We are able. Reach out to me personally. We're building a scholarship team where we will be able to even assist you in composing your essay, assist you in applying for the same scholarship we are offering. Take the time out. The expiration is July 31st. Don't wait for that time. Use the time right now. Right now it's Friday. We're going on a weekend. Use the weekend. And in order to, the best alternative to these options that I just present is to apply for scholarship. So I just gave you the alternative to scholarship, but the alternative to going for these loans and other options, you need to apply. There's so many scholarships that are available. NCB is offering primary, secondary school grant. You have Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission offering scholarship between 50,000 to 250 to 300,000 to anybody. It's just open. You have the Jerry and Nephew Foundation. You have all the credit unions, Sagicor. We have Jamaica Energy Partners. We have Barita Investment. There are so much scholarships now available that it's impossible for me to list all of them. But I can say, guys, use the time to go identify, and if you need help, we are here to help. Just reach out. All right. Let your plan B remains atop of your mind for a just in case. Big up on yourself and always remember that we're here to assist you in any way possible. So this is a pretty precise presentation. So I leave you now to ask any question you have.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Chris. The floor is open. I just posted in the chat the link to the NMJI AYF scholarship application. Just go to the page and apply, or share it with someone who you think could benefit from a scholarship through the organization. We welcome any questions at this time. For Chris, you can either unmute your mic and ask your question, or you can put it in the chat. We got a wealth of information just now. Feel like a tsunami. Some of those things, Chris, I am a few years old on this planet and I don't know some of them. I love the comparison of the interest rates, the crowdfunding and all that. Okay.
But these are options that we tend to close our minds to, especially crowdfunding. It just take a little effort. For the credit union, I don't get paid to say it, and I say it every time I get a chance. It is one of the most resourceful. Usually we go to the banks and they keep our monies and they use it and invest it and then give us no interest. But credit union, you're a member, literally, as it says, but you do get benefits. And as students, they're one of the best sources of funding and resources. I guess if when persons don't ask questions, it means all the questions were answered.
All right. Well, we won't torture the persons. Again, the resources are available. So persons who need to watch back this video and share, please share the link, share the information. Even if you not go to school, you might know somebody who's going to school and is unaware. Crowdfunding is not one of the options that I thought before tonight for education, but it makes sense. People are crowdfunding for all sorts of foolishness. So why not for personal development through education? All right, Chris, we don't have any questions, so we're going to leave it there. Thanks again for sharing with us. Christopher Grant from Scholarship Jamaica, Director of the Adopt a Youth Foundation. Thanks, guys, for coming on, spending your Friday evening with us. Next month, next week, July, we go into another year, another aspect of personal development. Abigail, I see your statement. Okay, sure, I look forward to that. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the evening, and we will link again next week. Good night.